Hi, I'm Benjamin Sitting Bull, and I just wanted to share an old story with you today. Um, yeah, so a long, a long time ago, back before the coming of horses, uh, there was a band of Lakota people who um, had been very successful in hunting in the spring and summer months, and had put up quite a lot of meat to where the village was secure. And they were able to the young men were able to go and take some time to go adventuring and have some leisure time. And so a band of them, a group of them, about four of them, went uh, to this beautiful valley in South Dakota. It's a beautiful, beautiful place where they could, kind of hunt and do some praying and things of that nature. So they went there and they split up. Um, They said that they would meet back in a day or so and that they would head home together. And one young man, he went off and, and he was really appreciating the beauty, how beautiful that valley was with its wide creek and its beautiful water and its beautiful grass and all the stands of cottonwood trees. And he was praying as he went. He saw something. He saw something out brown tuft or something, and so he walked over there, and he could see that there was a large buffalo, giant buffalo, laying on the ground, and it wasn't moving. He went up to the head of the animal, and he knew that it wouldn't be right to kill that animal, and he put his hand on it, and there was an automatic, a spiritual connection with that man and the buffalo. He could see that its eye was glassy, that it was breathing was really heavy. And so he went and set his weapons and everything down, and he just filled up his bladder bag with water and took it to the buffalo. Gently put some water in the buffalo's mouth, and it drank slowly. He went and he found some peji, got a lot of grass, and he would rip it up, so the buffalo didn't have to chew that much, and put it in the buffalo's mouth. And he stayed there and slept next to the buffalo that night. And in the morning, his friends found him, and they could see that something very sacred was happening between him and the buffalo. And so they left him with some food, and they left him and went back to the village to tell the elders what was going on. And they decided to move the village close to the valley, and so that they could support the young man. And they were moved at a respectful distance, so as to allow the sacred thing that was going on to continue to go on. So that the young man would keep every morning before he would drink, he would give the buffalo some water, some mini, and he would go get peji, and, rip it up and give it to the buffalo for 4 and 5 days. Pretty soon, one day he woke up from sleeping next to the buffalo. He went and washed his face in the creek. He looked back. The buffalo stood up, looked at him, just looked at him for a long time, and then he ran up the side of the bank. And the man was sad, he formed a close bond, but he was very happy for what went on. From that day on, he would tell the story of himself and the buffalo to the young children, teaching them to have respect for the metake, have a respect for all the nations of beings that live here on grandmother earth. So, from that day, the man, he was a great hunter and a warrior. He was a wise person. People would come to him. And he wasn't loud or flashy or boisterous, but people would come to him and he would help them. So he had children and they had children. Pretty soon he's a very old man. He's so old he doesn't hunt much. And he just, in that winter, such a blizzard, such a blizzard, and people are starving. There's not enough food, and the old people are taking the food that they have, and instead of eating it themselves, giving it to the children, the Wakanyelas, giving it to them so that they can eat, so that the nation can survive. In this way, the man saw what was happening. And even though he was an old man, he put his weapons on, and he said, if I can't sit here, I must try, must try to provide some food. Like, even if it kills me, I must go out. I must find something for my people and my family. So he went out into the blizzard. And it's a whiteout. He can't even see his hand in front of his face, and he's just walking with his arms out through the blizzard. And pretty soon he comes upon an outcropping, and he's almost frozen. He gets in the outcropping, warms up a little bit more, and he walks out a little bit more, and he's just about to freeze to death. He's gonna go to sleep and never wake up again. And he feels something as he puts his hands out. He feels the warmth in the fur. He goes around to the face of the animal and he sees the eye. He has that spiritual connection, that realizing, and they recognize each other, and it's the buffalo from when he was a young man. So he hangs on to the buffalo, and walks beside it, and it slowly starts to walk, and it puts its hump in the wind to shield the man. And it walks and it walks, and just when he thinks he can't go on, the buffalo lays down right there and just takes its last breath and dies. And the man realizes that he's in the middle of his own village, and that the buffalo has given its life, the last part of its life, to help him the same way that he helped it. And the village is saved, and they eat the buffalo. And that story, I think, is a lot about respect and sacrifice. And I'm told that story is true, and that those things actually happened. That's why it's good to respect the Mitake, have respect for people and beings and animals and all the things that you find here on Grandmother Earth.